could you date someone your mom didn't approve of? Us Weekly is reporting that Lisa Rinna played a huge role in her daughter Amelia Gray Hamlin's split from Scott Disick. If you watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know how much she complained about him. So what do you make of Lisa being so public with her distaste for Scott? Priyanka, let's start with you.
I am so obsessed with this story so much because my mom and I are so close, and she is not afraid to show her opinion or let us hear. But she always says, never get in the way of your children's relationships. But here's the thing. I am one of 4 brothers, like there's 4 boys in my family. And if she doesn't like someone else's girlfriend, she'll come tell the other brother. So she's still giving her opinion. Do you know what I mean? Or what she'll do is she'll after the breakup happened, she did this to me after I got dumped a year ago. Actually, the last time I did the social, I got dumped right after we taped it. So I blame this show. I blame this show. And I actually came here to tell everybody. No, I'm just joking. But my mom told me right after, she was like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So parents always know. Mama knows best. Daddy knows best. They, them knows best. So I think you always have to trust the mother's intuition. So I don't mind if the parents have their opinions.
Yeah, but you don't listen?
I don't know. What would you do?
You won't listen, though. You'll still go through with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
The other thing
but guys,
that my mom also always says is that love makes you stupid. So either way, even if your parents say, don't date them, still going to be like, but he's different. Oh, he makes me happy. And then he dumps you. You're like, why? And mom is like, I told you. Told you.
That is a fact.
Wouldn't we also be talking if Lisa Rinna was like, hey, ladies from Beverly Hills Real Housewives, my 19-year-old daughter just found the perfect boyfriend. He's 37 years old, and he has 3 kids, and he's divorced, and he's a former reality TV star. Isn't it going to be beautiful? No. Like, of course she was going to be upset. And Lisa's like, she capitalized on this as well. If you watch the show, she brought it up every second she could. It was gorgeous content for her showmates, and for me at home watching.
Oh, cynical. Oh, it was just content, was it?
Content, hashtag.
Sid.
But I'm sorry, my mom, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't follow this storyline, but I will just say in my personal life, my mother was always really warm and supportive towards the people that I brought home. My dad, however, was another story. He purposefully, get this, he always like named the guys like a different name. Like he would be like, hey, Paul, and the guy's name was like Todd or whatever. And I remember calling him out at one point in time and being like, Dad, it's really rude. And he would say, I don't need to remember their names until I know that they're going to be sticking around. He does remember Jason's name, I will say that, but it's been 20 years. I don't know. I do think, though, that you can't really intervene in your kids' lives because they're gonna then be drawn towards them. But you can be sneaky. Like Priyanka's mom was very smart, because I think what I would do if I didn't like someone who Jaya was dating, I would be like, I happen to notice that so-and-so was kind of rude in such and such a context. What did you think about that? You just plant the seeds of doubt, and eventually they will, grow lovely things.
I love that.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Cynthia, I just want to know one thing. Does your dad know my name?
Love it. Love it. So good.
You know what? Listen, I wish Frank Grelo, who has had some Frank-isms here on the show, my parents probably saw me go through a lot of really crappy relationships, never intervened, but they would in sort of like passive-aggressive ways. So if a boy would come over, my dad would do like well, how are you with the pitchfork and the wheelbarrow and shoveling some you-know-what. And I was like, what is this? What are you even trying to do right now? And the whole point was he was trying to assert his position without directly intervening. So threatening, like mucking a stall was apparently his way.
Was it like a mano situation?
Yeah, it was a little bit like, you know that guy thing, like, this is my daughter.
Right.
Let's see what kind of man you really are. It was like one of those, and I was always mortified, right? Because I just thought, oh, this is going to go real well, Dad. Thanks a lot. But in the end, they do always know best. But now that I have a daughter, and Ryan and I talk about this all the time, Cynthia, exactly what you're saying, I am a control freak. Of course I'm going to say something. Of course I'm going to be the Lisa Rinna of the world. I don't want to be. I'm not proud of that. but you want to think that you did, because it's a reflection of your parenting. So if they
Yeah.
choose wrong, you're like, oh, I'm the worst parent in the world. Great, wonderful. Now I'm back in therapy. Thanks a lot, kid. Like, it really, you start to go, this is about me, which is very selfish and wrong.
Yeah.
But you kind of can't
Well,
help
would
it.
would you actually confront your daughter and be like, he's no good for you? I do not agree with this. Or would you do the planting the seeds around it?
Okay,
and kinda
Priyanka,
hope
let
it
me tell
blossoms
you about
into a
my
breakup?
mom. Let me tell you about my mom, because my mom was not a planting the seed. She was the type who was ripping out the weed. There was like, I had boyfriends who she hated. One boyfriend, she blocked the door. And she,
What do you mean block
I
the
was
door?
about to go out with him, like on a date.
Okay.
He was on his way to pick me up. She threw herself in front of the door.
No.
Not over my dead body. You can't go. And it resulted in
What did
so.
you do?
I
It's
was
very
like,
dramatic.
Well, as Priyanka said, love makes you stupid. So I just went out the
Yes, it
side
does.
door, and I still went out. Another time, she didn't think that the guy I was dating was good looking enough, so she called him Triangle Head, referring to the shape of his skull. And the thing.
I don't know if I hate this or I love
But
this.
I will say that with my husband, with Jacek, the first time she met him, she was undergoing medical issues. The first time he came over to the house, one of the first things she said to him was, Jacek, will you help me with my 24-hour pee-pee? She was collecting urine. She made him get the urine jug in the closet, touch it,
Yeah.
bring it down, hand it to her, and then in her mind she said, this man was willing to touch my urine jug. Well,
Yeah.
I have a good
keeper.
feeling about him.
He's
Yes.
a good keeper.
Yeah.
There you
it is.
go.
Very
It
nice.
sounds like,
Wow.
it really sounds like love made him stupid.
Just perfect.
Many
Okay,
people
guys.
would agree with you, including our viewers, with what I say about him.